hey. Thanks for joining the party. Oh no. Bad boys. Don't have to trunk again. Hey, how's it going? Got Onyx yesterday. Slam. That thing looks amazing. I don't know what you're seeing, man, but that thing looks amazing. I don't know what you want, but that thing looks amazing. All right, we got clothes. We got clothes put away finally. All right. All right. We live. Oh, that's Cammy, Street Fighter. Good morning. Good morning. All right. And the fudge is that. Hey, Enchanted Phoenix, how? So far so good. We are doing pretty well. I can't complain yet. I hope your day is going well. Enchanted Phoenix. We got Stoneheart. She's chasing around bad boys all night. Late for school. We gotta love the purple hearts. Enchanted Phoenix sent, She she's spreading the glow for us. Those boys are late to school. Always late for school. Always making up the rules. Trying to. Someone's listening to the radio. Is that coming from downstairs? It's got to be coming from downstairs. Let's turn our. Let's get our noise going. All right. She was chasing around. Stoneheart was chasing around bad boys yesterday. Allegedly, it's supposed to snow today. Well, it had been. Well, last time I was out, it was still snowing or started snowing. All right, forensic files on right now. Awesome. Let's fire that up. Oh, well, last night it wasn't too happy. Let me tell you, those bad boys are chasing him around.
I'm going to talk to my doctor again about Trintellix. Ready when you are. Ask your doctor if Trintellix could be right for you. Here's what you can find.
These boys are wild.
And in depth. Do you think that Pam Bondi is hiding something? Getting ahead of the biggest stories and giving you context. Do you like capitalism?
Aaron Burnett out front. Weeknights at 7 on CNN. And watch on the CNN app.
This holiday season, expert bakers, sugar artists, and chocolatiers team up to show off their skillful sweet creations. Series premiere, Peak Empire, Winter Wars, tonight at 9.
What'd they end up doing?
For 61 days, Terry Henson sat in a North Carolina jail cell, waiting to be tried for murder and arson. Eventually, Terry was released on a $200,000 bond, but remained under house arrest. And with no one else to turn to,
Supposed to snow today. Supposed to get
fired the jail
snow showers, whatever that means.
was slow going, until Terry found an article written by a fire investigator in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, we're on the streets.
The article described common mistakes investigators make when determining the cause of a suspicious fire.
Well, it's supposed to start. Actually, it has been snowing. I mean, very lightly. Very lightly, but it's snowing. Or it had been. Yeah, I don't. This big trucking thing. Oh, how did you do? She didn't understand it, apparently. I don't know.
Since he lived in Australia, he recommended Dr. Gerald Hurst in Austin, Texas. Dr. Hurst earned his PhD in chemistry
Thugonomics.
and he agreed to look into Terry's case.
Homeowners burning a house down to kill their children.
Sounds about right on, though.
Terry sent Dr. Hurst every piece of information.
Kids are expensive.
Dr. Hurst was struck by how incomplete the local investigation.
Kids are expensive.
Concentrate on the attic precisely because it said almost nothing about the investigation. The attic was a complete revelation.
The insulation in the attic.
Oh, God, I didn't want to hear it. Insulation in the attic. That happens every time.
Dr. Hurst checked local weather conditions, and he discovered that Hurricane Fran had passed through Tabor City, North Carolina, just 6 weeks before the fire. Terry said the torrential rains from that hurricane leaked through the roof and caused water damage in the ceilings. Dr. Hurst also found a melted 50-year-old electrical wire in the attic insulation. Terry told Hurst there had been some
Boys are drunk.
on the night.
Drunk again up in their room.
Her curling iron had been going
Unbelievable.
off earlier that evening.
Oh, all right.
And when she moved the electric space heater for the firemen, she noticed it was cold to the touch.
Slid it out of the way. The lighters put a dog on because that heater should have been very hot. And it had been turned on.
That meant that the heater had gone off at least a half an hour before she became aware of the fire.
Boys are drinking again.
Fire investigator
Drinking and drugging. All weekend.
Terry's home firsthand. They did not believe the fire started with
No snow yet. Well, let me look. I was going to look at that weather report. Well, let's look at the weather report here. Earlier it said it's supposed to be. It was 60 yesterday. What was it? 55 or something? I don't know. We'll see here in a second.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin. Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex. Then it can further restore skin
Here's the weather report.
for 72-hour hydration. Aveeno.
Is Pilates for you?
So we'll probably get some snow around noontime. It looks like
It's for everybody. Because that's the goal of Pilates.
it's already allegedly snowed.
Exactly. Everybody love Pilates.
When you don't use bounce, dryer heat can be a real monster.
If we get any, it'll be gone tomorrow.
For your hair, use bounce to stop it. If you want static-resistant clothes,
Everything is better with delectable stickable treat great deals. Real shreds.
It's gonna be 54 degrees tomorrow.
Whoa, hold up. Please go with that delectables great. Delectable stickable treat.
Deliciously delectable delectables.
There's an easier way to pay for the everyday and unexpected. Up to $500 in 5-minute delays. Download Pay today.
A Chewy order is on the way for Hunter, who finds anything he puts his nose to. This holiday, Mom uses Chewy to save up to 40% on gifts that Hunter loves hunting down. For low prices, for holidays with pets, there's Chewy.
Every morning I'm prepping lunches for my kids. It used to make my garbage disgusting. Now it all goes into Lomi. In as little as 3 hours, Lomi has transformed our food waste into a nutrient-rich fertilizer. Available at Costco and Lomi.com. Your ED could be in your head, but for too long, outdated ED meds have been obsessed with your plumbing, giving you that to the spark that starts in your brain way before anything even twitches. That's why we need Lucia Ready, the first ED med that works on both brain and body, with sildenafil and tadalafil to help optimize your body's natural response, and apomorphine to complement that reaction in your brain. So don't just get a reaction, get ready.
I'm gonna ask. Oh, I gotta ask. Would it be okay if we have some of that skinny pop?
Oh, sure.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
That's Jennifer Aniston, right?
Skinny Pop, popular flavor.
Those boys. I don't know.
In terms of memory, working, short term.
Drinking and drugging.
That's why we created Noriva Memory 3D. Unlike ordinary memory supplements, Noriva's revolutionary formula has clinically tested ingredients.
Just drinking and drugging.
Take it from me. An elephant never forgets. When you need to remember, remember Noriva.
Well, it's really very simple. Innocent people are being put into prison or forced into plea bargains for fires they did not start.
After Terry Henson was charged with arson and murder in the death of her 17-month-old son Joshua, her only hope was a scientist she found through the internet.
Jerry Hurst is one of these guys who kind of comes out of left field and actually saved the day in this case.
The findings of the State Bureau of Investigation and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms rested on the theory that the fire started on the floor of the bedroom closet. And when the cause couldn't be found, they concluded the fire had been deliberately set.
ATF, they call themselves arson investigators. The state call themselves arson investigators. That's what they're looking for, is arson. That's what they train for. That's what they go to school for, is to catch arsonists. What you want is a fire investigator to determine what caused the fire.
Dr. Hurst found
Exactly.
that the roof leaked in Terry's rented home, and tests revealed it washed away the flame retardant chemicals on the paper insulation. He also found evidence of electrical malfunctioning. On the day of the fire, mysteriously, Terry's curling iron was going on and off. And during the fire, when Terry moved the space heater, it was cold to the touch. This indicated the heater had not been on for at least a half hour before the fire.
Uh-oh.
The heater was plugged into a line originally designed for 15 amps. In the fuse box was a 30 amp fuse which had blown out.
That means that you carry more power through that wire than it was designed to carry. And when you
Negligent.
it gets hot. Cold snap. 1500 watt appliance on a line that probably never seen that high a wattage before. And the question became, did that electrical line over the top of the closet feed the heater? Because if it did, you had a correlation, you had a potential cause and effect situation.
And that is exactly what he found. The cable in the attic fed the outlet used by the 1500 watt space heater and the curling iron.
And that's what really frosted the cake for us. We had an origin, a cause that could not be disproven scientifically, and we had a connection between the differences in what was done that night and what had been done before. And that gives you a very strong presumptive case for an accidental fire.
Dr. Hurst believes several factors created the chain of events that culminated with the fatal fire. Water from the leaking roof washed the flame retardant chemicals off of the paper insulation in the attic and further eroded the 50-year-old electrical cable. Over time, as the rainwater hit the exposed portion of the electrical cable, it arced, burning the wooden attic beam and leaving behind char marks or carbon tracks. Wood does not conduct electricity, but carbon does. Dr. Hurst believes that when Terry plugged in the 1500 watt space heater that night, it heated the electrical wires in the attic, which arced. Those sparks touched a carbon track which ignited the paper insulation just above Joshua's bedroom closet.
A wooden ceiling with an already well-built fire that suddenly breaks through produces a holocaust in no time at all.
The fiery debris from the attic fell through the hole in the ceiling onto the floor of the closet and did not start on the floor and burn upwards as local investigators suspected. Ken Gibson believes that the fire officials rushed to judgment.
So anything that doesn't fall into the theory that this was part of how the arsonist started the fire, to them it's not evidence, it's just something that's there.
Dr. Hurst sent the local prosecutor his critique of the government's investigation, which said their conclusions were based on junk science.
Not only is there a badly melted and arced fire, it had arc marks on it, which could have been caused by the fire, but which could also have initiated the fire. No way to tell. And that wire passed across dead center in the hole in the ceiling. Quite a coincidence.
To his credit, the district attorney studied Dr. Hurst's report, conducted his own investigation, and dropped the charges against Terry Henson. But by the time it was all over, she had lost her home, her child, and nearly her freedom because of an inaccurate conclusion drawn from faulty science.
Fire investigation in general is the swamp of forensic science. In fact, many forensic scientists refuse to recognize arson investigation as a subfield of forensic science.
Uh-oh. Is it snowing out there yet? We got flakes.
Terry Henson cherishes her freedom and the time she spends with Brittany. Yet Terry thinks of Joshua every day.
I look around and I see him everywhere. We ran and we played and we had the dog to play with. He's swing of a tree. Not there.
Terry, she died in 2013. She was
In
49.
1988, a patient in Southern California collapsed and died of a heart attack in his doctor's office. But like many Hollywood stories, it was pure fiction. Investigators suspected that the patient and his doctor were one of several characters involved in a real-life murder mystery.
Real life murder mystery. Holy crap.
Dr. Richard Boggs.
Good. We'll leave Forensic Files on for a while.
In Glendale,
I'm
California,
glad it's on in the
a
morning
short drive
finally.
from Hollywood.
He had been married, he had children, had a huge mansion, had, for all intents and purposes, the good life. Drove a Rolls Royce, the wife drove a Jaguar.
Early one Saturday morning in April of 1988, Dr. Boggs called 911 to report that a patient had died in his office of an apparent heart attack. He said he performed an electrocardiogram, which appeared normal. But when he momentarily stepped out of the examining room, the patient collapsed on the floor. By the time paramedics arrived at 7:15 a.m., the patient was dead. Dr. Boggs identified the man as 42-year-old Gene Hansen, who he said had been a patient for years. Hansen's identity was confirmed by credit cards and a birth certificate in his wallet. But paramedics were suspicious because the body was cold and rigor mortis had set in. Sergeant James Lowry was one of the first police officers who arrived on the scene.
The arteries or veins that would be in the face seemed to be broken. There seemed to be a blotchiness to it. Having seen lots of deaths, both natural and unnatural deaths, it was my impression at looking at this body that he had been deceased for quite some time.
Now again.
The coroner estimated the time of death by comparing the temperature of Hansen's liver with the room temperature.
Got this the thermometer stuck right into it. Disgusting. They show that for.
Temperature of the body was 70
You need the fucking visual.
Just a rough guess, it would indicate that it was anywhere from maybe.
I don't think it was that guy they're talking about on here, but he showed some. He was taking someone's temperature that was dead.
Hansen died between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, long before Dr. Boggs had called paramedics. As the son of a physician, Sergeant Lowry knew something was amiss. Dr. Boggs was a neurologist trained in treating brain and other neurologic problems. So why was he treating a patient for chest pains? And Dr. Boggs' appearance gave no indication that he had performed CPR.
His clothes were not messy.
So you don't want him.
Covered in sweat. His hair was still neatly combed.
There were too many inconsistencies for the police to accept. And in a search of Dr. Boggs' office, police discovered some unusual devices not found in most medical offices.
Hacksaws.
What was found during the course of the search warrant phase were various sex toys that were actually within
Oh,
the
good.
examination.
Sex toys.
I mean, the little cabinets with drawers that was in there while the doctor was seeing patients, which was really kind of a bizarre way to
Hot.
do business.
Just 2 weeks earlier,
Yeah, those sex toys. Uh-oh.
to another incident in Dr. Boggs' office. A man we'll refer to as Bruce Smith claimed that Dr. Boggs attacked him in his office with a stun gun after hours. Since the two met earlier that night at a gay bar, police concluded it was a lover's spat. In recent years, Dr. Boggs experienced both professional and personal difficulties. He lost his medical privileges at several hospitals. He had gone through a divorce and had admitted publicly that he was a homosexual.
He's a homo. He's a homo. There he is right there. Look at him. What he's doing.
Specializing in
Them big homos.
Police hoped an autopsy would reveal what really happened in Dr. Boggs' office.
Here are the 5 things you need to know to start your day.
They're homos.
Studies are showing the impact of lifestyle changes on brain. Don't panic.
Hey!
They're homos on there.
With the power of Robitussin in every bite. Fast cough relief anywhere. Chew on relief, chew on a...
Chew on this.
From meeting trichology to meeting the family. At Credit One Bank.
When's this snow supposed to hit?
Today can lead to even bigger ones tomorrow. Credit One Bank.
Great, now we got to reset that.
I'm Cameron from Signal Relief. Veterans have sacrificed so much for our freedom, and too many live in chronic pain from their service. We created the Signal Relief patch to make a real difference. We just want to thank you for your service and for the extraordinary sacrifices you've made to protect our freedoms. Whether you served or not, it has clinically been shown that 85% of our participants have felt or found relief, and it comes with a money-back guarantee. I will never forget the first wounded vet I gave a patch to. For the first time in years, he felt relief, and when he saluted, it brought me to tears. Join the hundreds of thousands who've experienced relief by purchasing a patch. If our technology can bring relief to a wounded vet, imagine what it can do for you. Trust me, the patch works.
This week on Chewy, shop and save up to 40% off on treats they want, toys they love, or food they devour. All the best price gifts for any pet. For low prices, for holidays with pets, there's Chewy.
All right, so that's one pair of glasses.
Yep.
With prescription lenses,
Mhm.
plus anti-reflective lens coating,
Oh,
scratch-resistant coating,
did I choose?
UV protection, award-winning customer service.
That's me.
That's also me. Free returns, free exchanges, and free frame adjustments for life.
And how much more is that?
Oh, it's all included at Warby Parker.
So my glasses
Are still just $95.
Oh,
Surprise! I just get excited.
If it hurts you to watch this, you'll want to hear this. The eczema medication you're taking may not be right for you. Visit MyRawTruth.com and talk to your dermatologist about your symptoms and treatment options.
This holiday season, expert bakers, sugar artists,
These bad boys.
team
What
up
they're
to show
doing.
off their skillful sweet creations.
What crimes they're committing now.
Heat Empire, Winter Wars, tonight at 9.
Police were stumped when the autopsy confirmed exactly what Dr. Boggs had said caused Gene Hansen's death. Non-specific focal myocarditis.
Oh, Jesus.
Hansen's body was positively identified by his business partner, John Hawkins.
Right, business partner. Yeah, okay.
Hansen and Hawkins owned a clothing company in Columbus, Ohio called Just Sweats. This is a television commercial for Just Sweats. John Hawkins was a regular performer in the spots.
It appeared that they had a tremendous go-go business. They had something like 20 clothing stores. They were driving fancy cars.
Banging loose women.
Very high line.
Banging loose women all the time.
Gene
Oh.
Hansen's body was cremated and the ashes scattered in the Pacific Ocean. John Hawkins was the sole beneficiary of his partner's estate, which included a $1 million life insurance policy. After the funeral, Hawkins returned to Ohio and then vanished.
He drove his convertible Mercedes to the airport and left it with the top down in Columbus, Ohio, rainy weather, hopped on a plane with now
the insurance company was closing out her file on Gene Hansen and requested a copy of Hansen's driver's license. California driver's licenses include not only a photograph but also a thumbprint. But the thumbprint on Hansen's driver's license did not match the thumbprint taken in the morgue after his death. The insurance company reported this discrepancy to police. After looking through their files, police discovered that a 32-year-old Hollywood accountant had been reported missing. His name was Ellis Green.
Boys, what are those boys doing?
Dr. Boggs' patient was shown to Ellis Green's family. They positively identified him. When confronted by police, Dr. Boggs said he was shocked. He said the man who died in his office was a patient for years and had always been known as Gene Hansen. But Lieutenant Perkins
This is getting freaky.
Gene Hansen's medical file and found a startling inconsistency. During 3 different office visits, Dr. Boggs performed EKG examinations on Gene Hansen. But when Lieutenant Perkins placed the EKG strips end to end, he noticed ink marks and other printing evidence that showed that the 3 EKG tests were all performed on the same day. This was evidence that Dr. Boggs
Having dinner.
performed just one test. Then he ripped the strip into 3 pieces and wrote a different.
It's only 10:42 a.m.
And placed them in Hansen's file.
He'd actually goofed them up, which really made our job a whole lot easier. So this was the first time that we could really say beyond reasonable doubt that this was a phony or forged medical file.
Investigators then decided to take a second look at the autopsy. Ellis Green's blood and tissue samples were sent for more sophisticated testing, including gas.
6:42.
Which
Gruesome.
identified hundreds of toxic chemicals in human tissue, but none were found. Next, a second forensic pathologist was brought in to review the initial autopsy findings. The new pathologist noticed signs of discoloration in Mr. Green's face and fingertips, an indication of suffocation. Such discoloration is often very subtle and disappears quickly after death, which is why suffocation sometimes.
So we're 8 hours ahead of you now. Or you're 8 hours ahead of us now.
Dr. Boggs' claim of innocence.
It'll go back to 7 hours in
But did he act alone?
March.
Or was John Hawkins involved? And where was the real Gene Hansen?
Who the hell is he?
Bipolar 1 can overwhelm your mind. Sometimes depressive lows and unpredictable highs
Fun highs.
can make it hard to get out of your head. Finding relief may help you break through. Ask about Vraylar. Some medicines only treat the lows or highs. Vraylar treats depressive, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults. Proven full spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms.
Not for elderly with dementia-related psychosis due to increased risk of death or stroke. Report changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts to your doctor. Antidepressants may increase these in those under 25. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may not go away. High blood sugar may lead to coma or death. Weight gain and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, uncontrolled movements, tremors, feeling like you need to move, sleepiness, nausea, vomiting, and indigestion are common. Side effects may not appear for weeks.
Vraylar. Breaking through to relief. Ask about Vraylar.
Your ED could be in your head, but for too long, outdated ED meds have been obsessed with your plumbing, giving many thought to the spark that starts in your brain way before anything even twitches. That's why we made Rougia Ready, the first ED med that works on both brain and body, with sildenafil and tadalafil to help optimize your body's natural response, and apomorphine to complement that reaction in your brain. So don't just get a reaction, get ready.
And what kind of milk?
Oat milk? Depression's more than just sadness. My doctor told me there are multiple symptoms. I don't enjoy the things I used to love. I feel guilty when I shouldn't. I have low energy, trouble thinking, even making minor decisions. My doctor told me about Trintellix, a prescription medicine for adults with depression. It's been proven to effectively treat the overall symptoms of depression.
Trintellix increases the risk of suicidal thoughts and actions in people 24 and younger. Call a doctor right away if you have these or new or worsening depression, or if you are sudden changes in mood, behavior, thoughts, or feelings. Trintellix is not for use in children. Do not take with M.OTs. Tell your doctor about all medicines you take to avoid a life-threatening condition. Increased risk of bleeding may occur, especially if taken with aspirin, NSAID, pain relievers, or blood thinners. Manic episodes, eye problems, low sodium levels, and sexual problems can occur. Suddenly stopping Trintellix may cause serious side effects. Common side effects include nausea, constipation, and vomiting.
Oat milk latte. There you go.
Oat milk latte. All right.
Trintellix ready when you are. Ask your doctor if Trintellix could be right. Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. The best friend. And the first timer. The neighborhood hero. And the out-of-towners. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Red Tag. Now well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. Plus, Costco Executive members can get a 1215 members-only incentive.
I've always had dreams and aspirations before Proactive, but everything was always placed on hold because of my confidence level.
Get Proactive and get America's #1 acne routine for clear skin that stays clear. Proactive has routines formulated for almost every type of skin.
When I first started using Proactive, every time I kept the routine going, it just kept getting better. I finally got the confidence I needed to create the dream.
Now at proactive.com to get your free gift with purchase. Also available at these retailers.
When investigators looked into Dr. Richard Boggs' background, they discovered that despite his fancy lifestyle, he was penniless. He had recently gone through a divorce and also lost a large amount of money in a failed business venture.
We did the search of his apartment. We found one of the bathrooms. The bathtub filled with not water, but just overflowing amount of bills directed at the doctor.
And when they looked into the Ohio clothing business owned by Gene Hansen and John Hawkins, they found the same thing: huge financial losses.
One of the ways out of their dilemma, we need a lot of money. Therefore, life insurance being a very attractive proposition.
If the murder of Ellis Green was an insurance scam, investigators were certain Dr. Richard Boggs, Gene Hansen, and John Hawkins were all involved.
I don't know how they met. I know that both Hawkins and Hansen had been patients of Dr. Boggs, and they'd known each other for many years.
Plans for Hansen's staged murder may have begun a full year earlier. Phone records show the trio was in constant communication.
The phone records set up for us the conspiracy. Every time they prepared to do something in this case, you saw an increase in phone activity between all three individuals.
After buying
They got him.
$1 million insurance policy, Gene Hansen told his friends and colleagues that he was dying of AIDS, which wasn't true, and he said he was moving to California. Before he left, he made John Hawkins the sole beneficiary of his estate, eliminating his family from his will.
This is a case that involved elaborate planning to make sure there's no mistake that some bereaved relative of the true Mr. Hansen, such as his mother, doesn't show up and say, "Wait a second, this ain't my kid."
Police believe that Hansen and Boggs met Ellis Green in a North Hollywood bar. Green was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he filled all the requirements they were looking for.
Look at this. Look at these homos.
Resembled Hansen, was
Look at him.
HIV positive, and was very, very drunk.
From what we know, Green
Whoa, look out, buddy. Look out.
and they had probably invited him to join them.
Woo! That's disco. Yeah, we know what they're doing.
Having any clue as to what his fate was going to be.
That's disco.
At the very moment paramedics were attempting to resuscitate Ellis Green in Dr. Boggs' office, a man matching Gene Hansen's description checked into this hotel just 2 blocks from Boggs' office under an alias.
Big Johnny.
The real Gene Hansen Hansen received a telephone call from John Hawkins in Ohio. And when Ellis Green was pronounced dead, John Hawkins flew to California from Ohio.
Big Johnny went and checked on him.
His partner, Gene Hansen, had the body cremated and collected the $1 million from the life insurance policy. Then Hawkins and the real Gene Hansen both vanished, leaving behind their bankrupt clothing company and Dr. Richard Boggs to defend himself against murder charges. The hunt for Gene Hansen and John Hawkins would take more than 3 years and lead halfway around the world.
Good one.
A helping hand. We show up with the whole darn arm. Arm & Hammer Deep Clean. The strength of dollars saved and jobs done well. We show up with the whole darn arm. Arm & Hammer. More power to you.
These are some bad boys.
If you misplaced your
They'll be playing things like this.
The Chase mobile app has card lock, and it has
All right.
to help you keep your data safe. That's peace of mind from Chase.
Still dealing with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease symptoms despite treatment? Put them in check with Rinvoq.
Let's go take a quick. Who wants to take a quick walk? Who wants to go? Let's go see if it's snowing yet.
Check.
Rinvoq helped visibly repair my intestinal lining. Check.
I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
Rapid symptom relief. Visible repair of the intestinal lining.
And lasting steroid-free remission. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection. Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
When you want to feel clean and soft, try new Dial Healthy Hydration Body Wash with skin-friendly ingredients. It deeply cleans and hydrates in one shower for confidence to get closer. Dial up your clean. At the end of every day, my family craves this much food waste. And the last thing I want to do is deal with the smelly, heavy garbage bag.
Okay, it was 55 yesterday. All right.
Scraps in the trash, I simply put them in here. In as little as 3 hours, M.OTransforms our food waste into beautiful, nutrient-rich fertilizer. No more smelly garbage, no more fruit flies, no more heavy bags to the curb. Get rid of the stress and the mess with the Lomi Smart Waste System today. Available at Costco and Lomi.com.
Join the millions who are feeling the power of OsteoBioflex, the #1 pharmacist recommended joint care supplement. At your local retailer and club.
A diagnosis doesn't define you. Even ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. You've come a long way. Your path was never set in stone. You charged ahead. So why would life with ATTR-CM define you? You have the power of choice. Attruby is an oral medicine used to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization related to heart problems. People taking Attruby saw an impact on health-related quality of life and were 50% less likely to be hospitalized for heart issues, giving you more chances to do what you love with who you love. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding, and about the medications you take. The most common side effects were mild and included diarrhea and abdominal pain. If you have ATTR cardiac amyloidosis, ask your cardiologist if Attruby is right for you. It's time to get busy living.
As Dr. Richard Boggs sat in a California jail for the murder of Ellis Green, his conspirators, Gene Hansen and John Hawkins, were still on the run. A tip led police to this house in Florida, and a finger fingerprint found on a drinking glass positively identified Gene Hansen as the resident. But evidence inside the home indicated Hansen had fled the country. A few months later, Hansen was arrested at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport after arriving on a flight from Mexico. Security personnel noticed he was behaving suspiciously.
Well, what does that mean? He's behaving suspiciously.
Hair transplants were still noticeable. He denied he was Gene Hansen, and he had Ellis Green's driver's license in his possession. He also had several false IDs and a book entitled How to Create a New Identity. His fingerprints matched those of the real Gene Hansen, and he was arrested. Finding John Hawkins was much harder.
John Hawkins was a chameleon. He could schmooze his way into any lifestyle, to any location. Plus, he had money to assist along the way.
For 3 years, Hawkins used the insurance money to travel the world.
Tonight on America's Most Wanted.
In Amsterdam, a woman saw a television program in which John Hawkins was identified as being wanted in connection with the murder of Ellis Green. The woman was one of Hawkins' former lovers. With information she provided, authorities found Hawkins off the coast of Sardinia in a red catamaran called Carpe Diem, seize the day.
When he confronted him, John Hawkins said, "Well, I'm not who you think I am. I'm Bradley Bryan. I'm an English citizen. Here's my passport." He presented a legitimate British passport.
John Hawkins was positively identified through fingerprints. Prosecutors believed that financial problems brought Boggs, Hansen, and Hawkins together in an insurance scam which would net them $1 million. Dr. Boggs' assignment was to identify and murder a look-alike for Gene Hansen. His first target was Bruce Smith, whom Boggs picked up in a gay bar, took him back to his office.
Yeah, they're gaining it up again. Ooh, you got him.
But Smith escaped. 2 weeks later, Dr. Boggs was joined by Gene Hansen, and together they tried it once again. Boggs and
Look at him.
met Ellis Green at a nightclub sometime around midnight. Green had a blood alcohol level of 0.28 and was very drunk.
6'9". He ended with a 6'9".
Boggs and Hansen took him back to his office.
All right, let's go.
But Dr. Boggs made numerous medical mistakes, which were his downfall. He killed Green sometime after midnight, but he didn't call emergency personnel until 7 a.m. By the time they arrived, the body was cold and rigor mortis had set in.
Stinky.
John Hawkins, Gene Hansen, and Dr. Richard Boggs were charged with murder, conspiracy, insurance fraud, and grand theft. At the trial, prosecutors presented forensic evidence that Ellis Green had been suffocated by Dr. Boggs, and the real Gene Hansen was in town on the day of the murder, checking into a nearby hotel just as the paramedics arrived. The defense argued that Ellis Green died of natural causes, primarily due to the extremely high level of alcohol in his bloodstream. But the jury didn't agree. Dr. Boggs and Gene Hansen were convicted of murder and conspiracy to commit murder and insurance fraud.
Them bastards.
Were sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Jesus.
John Hawkins was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and insurance fraud and sentenced to 25 years to life.
I think it was a great result. I think we brought 3 men to justice thanks to great investigators, great experts, and people who pulled together from all over the world.
Solid police work and forensic evidence helped solve one crime and may have prevented another investigators discovered evidence that the trio was planning another murder. This time, a Hawkins look-alike in order to cash in on another $1 million life insurance policy. In 1992, two masked gunmen broke into this home on the Tyandaga-Mohawk territory in Canada. The motive was robbery, but there was a struggle. Shots were fired. 54-year-old Ward Maracle critically injured. It took solid police investigation and some fancy footwork to identify the perpetrators. The Tyandaga-Mohawk territory is a small community about 2 hours east of Toronto, Canada. The territory was founded over 200 years ago when the Mohawk moved here from upstate New York. The homes and landscape of the area are no different from any other North American community, but the sense of family among the Mohawk is especially strong.
It doesn't appear to be any different than anywhere else in Canada or the U.S. In what I would call, for lack of a better term, mainstream culture. But like I say, the difference is in the people.
In this community, there's a lot of blood family, but even if you're not related, you know everybody pretty close, so it's like being family.
Ward and Diana Maracle were respected members of the community. Ward's gas bar, the Maracle's business, a gas station with a restaurant attached, had always been a prosperous business. At night, they also operated a check cashing service from their home for people who didn't have an ATM card.
Everybody knows Ward and Diane, the business there as well, have contact with them. They're good people.
At Christmas time, residents of the reserve celebrate the holiday just like any other community. With Santa Claus, Christmas lights, and prayer. But in the early morning hours of December 30th, 1992, the holiday spirit of the community was shattered. Just before dawn, two masked gunmen broke into the Maracle's home.
Ward, we're coming to see you.
They went upstairs, woke Ward and Diana, and demanded money. One was holding a .22 caliber pistol, the other a piece of wood.
Just shut up and give me the mic.
Ward resisted. Shots rang out. By the time it was over, Ward had been shot 3 times. The second perpetrator took Diana downstairs. Fearing for her life, Diana handed over the money they had on hand, $10,000 in cash. And the intruders quickly fled.
We've got a shooting down here on the reserve. We're in an ambulance. Please hurry.
Ward Maracle was rushed to the hospital with a bullet wound to his head.
Dude,
He underwent emergency surgery. Most wounds to the head are fatal. Since the gunman wore masks,
That's the last place you want a bullet right in your head.
was that these citizens made their getaway in a red car. A few miles down the road, police found the 2 masks used in the robbery. One was a wool ski mask, the other a rubber Halloween mask. Inside the Maracle's home, police found 3 shell casings which were collected for analysis.
In this case, I believe there were 22 short caliber. The fact they're out on the ground would indicate that more than likely a semi-automatic pistol, as opposed to a revolver, was used.
Since the stairs had no carpet and with snow outside, investigators suspected that the perpetrator's wet feet might have left latent shoe impressions on the stairs. The stairs were dusted with fingerprint powder, and immediately, a clear impression of a running shoe was evident. Outside the house, forensic experts found a trail of evidence in the snow, which they hoped would lead them to the perpetrators.
To experience CNN. CNN correspondents are tracking all these truly historic developments.
Yours every day. Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. When you want to feel clean and soft, try new Dial Healthy Hydration Body Wash with skin-friendly ingredients. It deeply cleans and hydrates in one shower for confidence to get closer. Dial up your clean.
It's supposed to snow at 11:15. We're 9 minutes away from that. We're gonna go outside here.
May not be right for you. Visit M.OTransformers.com and talk to your dermatologist about your symptoms and treatment options.
I ain't talking to them. Nothing. No way.
Topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Or you could attempt to share $6.99 burgers instead.
You guys hungry? Hope you don't mind sharing. Take one down.
Goddamn criminals.
Beautiful. Good news, guys.
Don't have passed out. Or those boys ran. Probably the boys ran off. What happened?
You get more with
Where'd they run off to?
Here, I'll take the burger at the end.
Your ED could be in your head, but for too long, outdated
We know what happened.
to the spark that starts in your brain way before anything even twitches. That's why we made Rugiet Ready, the first ED med that works on both brain and body, with sildenafil and tadalafil to help optimize your body's natural response, and apomorphine to complement that reaction in your brain. So don't just get a reaction, get ready.
Spectrum is connectivity everywhere. Built by an internet company, because internet is what you use your phone for. And Spectrum One seamlessly combines 5G and fiber-powered internet with the fastest wireless internet. That's one reason Spectrum is the fastest growing mobile provider. Spectrum One, it's only the seamless connection you love at home, everywhere you go. It's only everything. Activate your included mobile line today at no cost.
Spectrum Reach's TV advertising is built for connecting brands like yours with the right audience wherever they are, giving you a premium video partner across traditional TV and streaming with access to the Spectrum TV app, the most watched streaming service ever. When you advertise on Spectrum Reach, you're entering a universe of over 30 million households, 60 plus traditional TV networks, and more than 450 streaming networks and publishers. So if your brand is ready to build for what's next, Spectrum Reach's TV advertising is built for results. Spectrum Reach, built for what's now and what's next.
I don't want to believe it. I won't believe it. What am I going to do if I see someone life out in the real world and you're not here by my side?
All right, we're doing it. Got the keys.
During the Christmas holidays in 1992, residents of the Tryon Mohawk territory learned
We're terrified.
that one of their most prominent citizens, Ward Marigold, had
Big Johnny.
of a senseless shooting. There is very little violent crime to 2,600 people.
There's our Big Johnny. No.
Shock initially.
In awe.
Something of this magnitude could happen in a community such as this.
Oh, snap and snap. They're done. All right. We got to hide those.
He was fortunate. He survived, but the injury would leave him permanently disabled. Forensic scientist Jim Eady inspected the crime scene. He noticed a piece of wood on the kitchen table.
Big wood.
Diana Maracle told police one of the perpetrators held the wood in his hand during the robbery. When he
Rubbing
walked
it.
outside,
Stroking
on the
it.
side of the house, he found a wooden sawhorse with one of the legs missing. It appeared that the perpetrators took the leg from the sawhorse and used it to break through the front door. Next to the sawhorse, clearly visible in the bright December sunshine, was a footprint in the snow.
Oh.
And when I looked, I could see footprints in the area of the sawhorse. I was certain that somebody had gone back behind the house and got the sawhorse and ripped a leg off. There was a potential piece of very important evidence.
Jim Eady realized he had to act quickly before the snow melted and before anyone else walked through the crime scene. His first order of business was to photograph the footprints. These stills would be important, especially if he was unable to make a cast of the footprint. He then rushed to his truck and looked for materials to make a mold.
It was
There
too
are
late.
a number of techniques for capturing a footprint impression in the snow. If you choose the wrong one, the impression could be lost forever.
Snow presents interesting problems because if you use conventional casting materials, such as dental plastic, it's really very difficult.
All right, here we go.
Parts to study. And if you pour it into snow,
You got snow yet?
collapse the footprint.
Detective Eady decided on a technique called the circular casting. There was a small cylinder in the pot, and he did the powder dark.
Ooh, it's supposed to start snowing in 3 minutes. No snow yet. Where's the snow? Come on, let's see it. Not happening, I guess. 11:15 a.m. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It does look and feel like it's going to, though. Like I said, it was snowing, if you want to call it snowing. But You could see there was tiny little flakes. So fine you was it's not so fine. So fine that you wouldn't be able to pick it up on camera. You might be waiting a while. Gonna be waiting. You're gonna be waiting. Well, this might where we die. This guy's going to get back on the road there. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Well, it's like it was like dandruff. The snow was like that's how it was. It wasn't anything like light dandruff. They're getting drunk again. Blue moon. Woo-hoo. Hey, how's it going? We took the live stream on the road. It's supposed to start snowing. Good morning. But I don't think it's gonna snow. I'm always going the right way. I don't dare look at that. Look, that's the sidewalk over there. So I don't like. You're supposed to be on that side allegedly. But man, I do not like that. It's too tight. See, that dude just drove over that side. People drive over that line. Yeah, no, thank you. And it's twice as small. It's not even this, you can get two people. You're lucky if one person gets over there. No, you're not bad at all. Like I probably am supposed to be. I probably am legally supposed to be over there, or I wouldn't say legally, but nah, that's too crazy. It's too crazy. Too crazy to be on that side. Then it gets even tighter when you get up here. It's starting to lose the width. By the time you get to that VA clinic outpatient sign, that blue sign right there, it is tight. Yeah, exactly. I like to see it coming. Even on the way back, I won't walk on that side. It's too tight. It's too tight on that side. Oh, yeah. I tried to be over here. It's even worse at night. This is as far as I want to go, actually. Actually, I'll go a little bit longer on this side, but I'm not going to the park. We'll get close to the park, but I'm not going to the park today. Yes, I'm walking to you. States away. I'm crossing over. I'm going to jump on 95 here in a minute. They're hyper concerned. They're hyper concerned. Yeah, for some reason they don't like that. Yeah, I'm gonna walk on 95. I'll tell you that. I mean, that's only like 5 states. What? New Hampshire, Mass, Rhode Island, I think New Jersey, Connecticut, then New York. Oh, we're not running. What are you, crazy? I can't do that. Oh no, I'm too old to be running. Too old and too big. It was one of those cyber sex cars. I probably said like 7. What? Mass, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Connecticut. You technically have to go through by Vermont. The 95 doesn't go into Vermont, but you're going by it. Yeah, so 5. Yeah. Mass, or New Hampshire, Mass, Rhode Island, New Jersey, then New York. Let's hop a train. Let's hop a. I'll hop a train to New York the next time. I'll get on one. I'll hop the next train out of here. We'll hop the next train. Where are we stopping? Nobody knows. New York. Next stop, New York. Please just be in the city. I don't want to have to go. Don't be up in like Niagara or something. Or Erie County, or Buffalo. Don't be up there. Oh, I just saw a flake. And I'm not talking about someone driving by. I think I saw a flake of snow. It's starting. I don't think the snow's happening. Yep, they're canceling snow this year. Ooh, it's doing something. Yep, it's snowing. It's snowing. It's like sleet almost. See that? That's the snow. Yep, there's a flake. Yep, it's coming down now. I always call that the death bus. It's snowing. Oh man, we missed the Interstate 95 sign. Oh man, Joji. See, that's where it's been hitting. You can hear it. Hear it hitting? See what's hitting the ground? Oh, it's not hitting the ground, it's hitting the trees like we did, but how's the quality of the stream anyways? We're gonna get hit. We're gonna get hit. Oh, we made it. Yeah, it's on the wherever the phone has good service. But that's good to know when I have full service, it comes in good. All right, yay! Try to get pictures. I'll try to get in front of a car because then you can see it a little bit more. Be a cold day for that. Ah, oh, fudging A. Fuck. Fudging A. How's it going?
Sense of indignation that it's impossible to escape. Sense of indignation that it's impossible to escape. A sense of indignation that someone being used and abused like that. Investigators began focusing their attention on the few bits
All
of
right.
physical evidence they had.
We're gonna end it. We're gonna end it here.
Forensic experts
Snowstorm activated.
with a single stab wound in the heart.
Snowstorm activated.
Scientists found two linear impressions on the pillowcase that were consistent with the blade of a knife. The serrated edges appeared to be those of a hunting knife. Also on the pillowcase, they found what appeared to be a partial fingerprint in Dawn's blood. But the fabric was textured, which made any kind of fingerprint analysis impossible.
Oh.
The print was almost...
You're gonna find those prints, let me tell you.
Even to a trained eye, the ridge detail was very faint.
Even with a dirty eye.
Because as we studied it under magnification...
Even with a dirty eye. All right. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.